Hi everyone, it's Lewis here from Royal Mid-Surrey Golf Club. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Today I've been in my back garden, I've hit a few chip shots and got a few videos of me using my SM7 wedges. Yes, SM7. I wish I had the SM8, but I will be getting my hands on them after lockdown. I chucked all the videos across into Huddle and I've analysed them and I'm just going to show you what I've found. Right, hello everyone. We're across in Huddle now, which is the app I use to analyse golf swings during lessons. I do use it for my own golf swing quite a lot as well, as you can see here. But it's a brilliant thing to have on your phone or your iPad, whatever you use when you're practicing. Obviously liaise with your coach, make sure you're looking at the right good, right bad, and providing you get that guidance, it's a brilliant thing to have. So firstly, I'm just going to show you now a video of my golf swing or chipping technique. So it's nice and easy. I keep it as simple as I possibly can, and it's practically it's had 2 weeks work in the back garden. So I hope it looks okay. Most of the stuff I look at in terms of short game is based around a guy called Jason Day, who I'm hoping most of you will have heard of on tour. He's fantastic, done very, very well for himself. But he is renowned for being an incredible chipper and pitcher of the ball. So anywhere inside sort of 80 yards, he's got the same reputation Luke Donald used to have. So he's nice and easy to look at. But the best thing about him is, much like my golf swing, he keeps it as simple as he possibly can. No fancy techniques, no fancy changes, it's just nice and easy to use, and I'm going to talk you through it right now. So we'll start with setup. So from a setup perspective, you'll be able to see from my feet here that my feet are roughly a club width apart. So a club head width is really, really easy. You've got many of them in your golf bag, I'm sure. So you don't need any fancy training aid to check this. It's just nice and easy. Put your head between your feet, and it'll give you the right distance apart. Secondly, you'll be able to see on the right side of the screen now, so where my feet are actually pointing, you can see that they're slightly left. This is really, really important because it allows you to actually keep that momentum up and allow your left hip to be able to turn out the way of the golf shot, even in slow conditions when you're hitting, say, a 5 to 10 yard chip shot. But I'll show you that in a second as well. Next on the list is weight distribution. So I quite like my weight 65% on my left side. You'll be able to see it here. So if you draw a line straight up from the middle of your left foot, just outside your left shoulder, you'll be able to see that line leans just towards the target. So don't want it too much on the left side, but a little bit is definitely helpful. So nice and easy thing to have a look at yourselves. You can take a couple of pictures in a mirror of your setup, or even take a video yourself and have a little look at that at home in your gardens. Then we're going to move on to ball position. So I like my ball position dead in between my feet. But I also don't mind seeing this smidge just slightly further forward, so slightly towards the left or towards the target, some might like to call it. I don't mind that at all. I think it's brilliant, providing that it doesn't go too far. A ball is probably as far as I'd like it to go, roughly. And then we're going to jump across to look at posture. So you'll be able to see on this right side of the screen here that I've got a nice gentle knee bend, and then that leads up to a fairly athletic but nice and relaxed posture. So I don't like to see people too tense. You'll be able to see I'm gripping it slightly nice and lightly. Doesn't need to be really strong or like you're strangling the golf club, just nice and easy. And then from there, all we want to see is that your hands just hang straight below your shoulders, as you can see with mine there. That is the perfect setup for chipping. Then we're going to move into some in-swing stuff. So one thing I really do focus on, if I bring the golf club back to about halfway back just here, or to the top of my backswing with a chip, just there, you'll be able to see quite clearly that my right arm is extremely straight. So a lot of what we see in amateurs would be a bent right arm here, and lots of wrist hinge, but you can see that I've got very minimal wrist hinge and a dead straight right arm there. What this allows is for the golf club, the head, to be much further away from me over here, allowing me to shallow out the golf club during the downswing and keep it so it travels nice and shallow into the back of the golf ball. This is also going to help our keep the club on plane and basically reduce the overactivity in my right arm. Leads to consistent strikes and much more consistency. You can see that on this side as well, so it's nice and easy to see. All I want you to try and look at in your golf swings is if you've got a gap in this spot just here. So you'll be able to see this spot just here. If you can fit a tennis ball or a ball even bigger than that in that gap, then that's absolutely fantastic. But I'd like to challenge most of you and say that you probably don't, but it's something you can definitely have a look at home and maybe try and change over the course of the next few weeks. So next, going into my body turn now. So you'll be able to see that my whole turn during my chipping action is with the middle of my chest. So you'll see that this angle and line here between my hands and my chest stays very quiet. So you can see that doesn't particularly change. It just turns around my chest and turns around my chest. And that is what we want to see. We see lots and lots of people that hit so many chip shots just with their arms and hands, and it really doesn't help consistency, and it certainly doesn't help you being able to strike it in the same point on the face every time. So that's something you can all have a little look at yourselves as well there. Something else I really look at, so in terms of distance control now, so we're going to go into how to control different distances. So here I'm hitting about a 15 to 17 yard chip shot, but obviously we can make it shorter and longer. But what I like to see is that people swing the same length back and the same length through. So you'll be able to see there that my backswing length was roughly here, and my follow through length was practically the same there. So nearly a dead straight line across the two, or it is probably a dead straight line across the two. That's something I really do focus on. So I don't mind how far back or how far through you swing, but I need you to try and match that to make it as close to each other as you possibly can. It gives you the most chance of getting the same speed and certainly the same distance on the golf ball. So that's that part. Next on the list is now if I want to have a play around with the trajectory and height I'm hitting the golf shot. So the best bit about this technique is that it's nice and easy to be able to alter the trajectory and flight. So how I do that is I keep my ball position exactly the same. So my ball position never changes. It stays just here in the centre there. And then all I do, if I want to hit a low one, I just move my hands so they're slightly further forward. If I want to hit a high one, I move my hands so they're slightly further back in line with that line. And then if I want to hit a neutral one like I am here, my hands will just be dead in the centre or just leaning slightly forward of centre. That's the easiest way to play around with trajectory and height. It will certainly have an impact on the loft of the golf club. But there is one more way to do it. So for some of you that want to try both ways, the only other way to do it would be to literally open your feet slightly more, so you can aim slightly further left with your feet just here, and just open the club face a little bit there as well. So get the club face pointing a little bit more towards the sky. That makes it nice and easy to be able to pop it up a little bit more and really turn out. You can also use slightly more speed with that one as well. So some people may find it slightly easier, but have a play around with both and see what you think. So that's my breakdown of my golf swing or my chipping action. If you'd like us to have a little look at yours, then feel free to get in touch, and we'll certainly put a couple more videos up on here of a few different areas of the golf swing. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you all soon. Thanks very much. Bye bye.